I would like to look at just one sutra from the Yoga Sutras of sage Patanjali. This sutra is a very pivotal one. Again, it gives a key insight in terms of our attitude to life. Let me ask you a question. Why do you come here every Sunday? Some of you because you have no choice. But I would suspect that most of you are looking for something. It could be as simple as you have some sort of problem that is beyond your control and you want help. Fair enough. Others, you may find that no matter what you do in life, there is something deep within you, inside of you, that is not quite right. You're not quite happy. Whatever you achieve, whatever you get, whatever pleasures you have, it only satisfies you for a short period of time. And then you're back to, this niggling little feeling that it's not all quite right. Maybe something is wrong. I'm not quite happy. So you have two extremes. Some of you may be really struggling to get the basic necessities of life, like shelter, food, money. You try to provide for your families. On the opposite end of the spectrum, some of you may have much more than you need. But this is also a problem, because you are not happy. There's something inside that's still calling for more. Let us listen to the advice in this one sutra. Very simple. It is in the second chapter of the Yoga Sutras, Sutra 15, if you want to look it up. It says, Parinama tapasanskara dukhair guna vritti virodhacha dukham eva sarvam vivekina. This sutra means, to the one of discrimination, to the person with discrimination, and if you don't understand the word discrimination, take it to mean right vision. The person who sees things the right way, not the wrong way. So to the person of discrimination, everything is painful indeed. Everything is painful indeed, due to the consequences. What consequences? Listen carefully. The anxiety and fear over losing what is gained. The resulting impressions left in the mind to create renewed cravings. And the constant conflict among the three gunas which control the mind. If you recall, last week or week before, I can't recall, maybe you can recall, I mentioned that the key principle is this: happiness, peace, cannot come from the world. It just cannot come. You will get pleasures here and there, but this real bliss, happiness cannot come from the world. It's very easy to say, but most people do not understand it, do not realize it. Now this sutra is very important. It says the anxiety and fear over losing what is gained. From the time you were born, you were given little toys. And when you lost it, what happened? You would cry. As you grew older, you acquired various things. Various material things. Family members, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, children. Name, fame, job, status. All of these things you acquired. But if you think back, did all of these things remain with you? Or did they remain in the same way? You know, I reflect, okay, I remember my little son Abhinav. A nice little chubby baby. Did he remain like that? Did he bring the joy in that form for a prolonged period of time, or would he bring it forever? No. He is growing, he is changing. Your spouse, husband or wife, did that person remain the same? Well, clearly physically, no. I mean, some people get more handsome with time, some people get less beautiful with time. But the idea is, they change. The attitudes of your children, the loved ones, they change. The name that you have in society, these things change. Maybe at some point you're a big pundit. A few years down the road, you're the old pundit. You see? You're on top in government, then you're nothing. You're craving to go back into government. Whatever it is, whatever you can think about, it does not last. That's the key point. So even the enjoyment of our pleasant pleasures is usually painful because we are afraid of losing it. Think about this. We say, you know, think of a loved one who has died. Say your mother or father. And we say, okay, that person isn't here anymore. All we have is the memory. Okay? So you have the memory. Fine? What happens to you as you get older? You lose your memories. Even the memories you lose. So what really can you hold on to? What lasting pleasure do you have? And people get so anxious over this, you know. Say you have money in the stock market. Every morning you get up and check the papers. You want to see how the stocks are doing. If it's doing well, you have a nice sleep. If it's doing badly, it drops 1 or 2 small percentage points. You get anxious because you're losing money. And this is how we all react to the world. You know, various things. So that is what Sage Patanjali is saying here. This anxiety, this stress that comes about because of these things. So, past pleasures now. If you have nice things in your life, or you had nice things, what happens? You develop the craving for more. More of these things. Past pleasures are painful because renewed cravings arise from the impressions they leave in the mind. So, when you were younger, you had a nice car. You know, a nice car that impressed all the ladies. And you lost that car, and now you reflect, you know, on that time when you had that car, how you felt. And you would like to get something similar now because of the feeling that you had. You know? Why do you think people fall in love so many times? They fall in love, then they fall out of love. They fall in love, out of love. When you're now falling in love, you have this sort of euphoric feeling. It's like cocaine, it's like drugs on the brain. But after a while, when you get accustomed to the other person, then you lose that feeling. So what happens? Like a drug, you fall out of love and you want that feeling again. So you go for somebody new. You see, this is how this works. You have to understand what is happening inside of your head. So these impressions, these samskaras as they are called, subtle tendencies are left deep within you. And this is what travels with you when you die. This is what is meant. These impressions travel with you. So So real pleasure comes from detaching ourselves completely from the entire world and standing aloof, making use of it as the master of it. Only then we can have pride. That yes, I have achieved something. Now, let me state here, this is not a negative attitude. This is not something that you can force. It is something that you need to be aware of, and as you have your experiences in life, you will come to realize this more and more. So you can't just say, all right, that's it. From today, I'm going to give up everything. I'm going to be in the temple only, or I'm going to go to the forest, or I'm going to join an ashram. No. You have to stay where you are. You have to grow where you are planted. But it's this vision we keep saying that you need to develop inside. This is the beginning of liberation. You know, there's a nice Zen saying, before enlightenment, chop wood, tote water. After enlightenment, chop wood, tote water. Nothing physically changes. All that changes is your attitude. Your attitude. Okay? Now, to one of discrimination then, if you have this Vivek discrimination, everything is painful in this sense. But now we switch it around. When you realize this, then to one of discrimination, everything becomes pleasurable. Do you know why? Because then you are no longer so invested in the world wanting to make things happen. You stop trying too hard. And this is the big word I want to introduce you to, what I think is the key of it all. Bhagavad Gita says it. The word is acceptance. Acceptance. The reason you are stressed out, you have so many problems, is because you cannot accept how things are, what is happening to you. It doesn't mean you must make effort. But when you give up the fruits of all actions, what does that mean? It means acceptance. So this, in a nutshell, is the key pivotal point in your life. Unless you get to this stage, then everything you do otherwise doesn't really amount to much. You are trying to build this vision. And once this vision moves from outside to inside, then you're actually getting somewhere. Okay? So it's not a story, but it's a key philosophy. And if you take it, it will do wonders for you.